What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and they cannot keep me down. If you saw yesterday, they took my video down. Well, they brought it back up. So they can't keep us down. I knew I really didn't do anything wrong. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. We had a really good time, and that one was actually a pretty fun one. We clowned. I heard an echo. Anyway, like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what was up.
I pulled off first from the toll booth.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
With me to go to my boyfriend's wife's wedding, and I know you're probably a little confused, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, my boyfriend is dating my aunt, and
I am disgusted.
and honestly, I love them both so dearly. And like, just when he told me he was ready to marry her, I was so excited for them.
Oh no, baby, what is you doing?
I am really hoping that one day me and him can also get married, because like,
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
that just inspires me so much, and they're so cute together. But like, I love him more, and I feel like I think he should have married me first.
You better talk to her before I do, because I'm hurt her feelings.
Sorry. Okay, I gotta pull it together. Yeah, Diddy was whitewater rafting today. Somebody in the chat said they think it's because, hold on, I'm about to pull it up for y'all. Let's see. This is Diddy whitewater rafting. Somebody in the chat said it's so that he don't have to be around the feds and he can talk freely. I wish he fell off. Okay, who is this woman? Is that Love's mama? She looks to be of Asian descent, but they didn't name her. Y'all think that's Love's mom? We'll figure it out. We're on the case. Who is that? Okay, so you know we always have to start off with foolishness, and there was nothing more foolish than this. Hopefully they don't get us for that. Booty Butter says he broke, so rafting is free way for him to. He's broke, so rafting is a free way for him to flee. I don't understand the motivation. Yeah, we've all been to strip clubs. Yeah, we get it. I don't understand the need to constantly throw money. And it's really crazy to be throwing money next to people who might have more money than you. And you were only throwing ones. Thank you for the super chat, Booty Butter. She's a new artist. I'm pretty sure there were some artists that she was throwing ones at or on that are worth more than Sexy Red. She's a walking caricature. I'm not going to lie. When I'm drunk, I don't mind hearing one of her songs. It's not a big deal. If I'm really, really drunk, I might want to hear, was it Rich Baby Daddy? whatever. But people were actually upset that Sexy Red did not win Best New Artist. How does this happen? They were all chanting for her, Sexy Red. And don't get me wrong, Sexy Red does have like hit after hit after hit. But if Cardi was an industry plant, what the hell is Sexy Red? Her song that went viral was what is it? My what is it? My booty hole brown or whatever. Then Nicki jumped on it. Then the other biggest rapper in the world, Drake, has her on with the biggest R&B artist, SZA. That's the definition of an industry plant, I would think. Tyler won, the girl with that water song. Now they're saying she ain't black enough to win a BET award because she considers herself colored, because in her part of Africa, they would call her colored. Whatever, BET, miss me with all this. Like, miss me with all this. Before we get into the Trey Songz thing, Lil Mama then called Nicki Minaj. It said, wait, what? Lil Mama refers to Nicki Minaj as a musical prostitute after her BET award wins. Thanks to you, we now have 7, 8, 9 of them. Now, Lil Mama, normally you're not part of the conversation. You ain't been part of the conversation since you ran up on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. But do y'all think she has a point? It says, then gave Nicki Minaj an award for leading this pack. Corporate bars be going over our head. They laughing at us. She says, keyword, this pack. These young women are not influenced by Kim. Nicki is influenced by Kim. These women are 23. What major musical prostitutes do you remember from the last 15 years? Who do you think that they've watched corporate give a platform and flowers for slutting it out? Be for real. Like I said, they are laughing at us. And the award was thanks to you. Now we have 7, 8, 9 of them. It says, Lil Mama, if you was invited to the BET Awards to perform, you would have went. Lil Mama says, and that's your response to what conversation again? Are you saying that I wouldn't have been performing, that I would have been performing and selling P too, or just performing? Same reason why you hide behind fake pages, because I can't. Do y'all think Nicki Minaj is a musical prostitute? Somebody said, yep. You know Nicki's gonna respond. It says, I agree that we're different, definitely option in style and content. It's all love. God is the greatest, and these women are gonna wake up and realize that they are worth more than any price tag. Sometimes we can't see ourselves. We are just living. So I can under how this can happen and feel normal. Look, let me say this much. We cannot fault the women for talking about selling P if the men are rapping about buying it. It's just that simple. Nobody goes this hard on Future, Lil Wayne, when all they're rapping about is lean. Lil Wayne's drug addiction to lean is so bad. He cannot perform anymore because he can't remember the lyrics. So we're more mad at the City Girls and Sexy Red for talking about basically selling P. But men, I mean, what is it? NLE Chopper has a whole song called Slut Me Out, Lick My Goosh. Like, what? Am I missing something? Is it that we still have a higher expectation for women than we do men? I was watching Club Shay Shay today, and they were talking about, Club Shay Shay was interviewing Megan Thee Stallion, and every other person was a troll, basically saying free Tory, or she's a slut, or she's drunk, or she's this or that. What artist today isn't drunk and high? Just an opinion. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Lil Wayne can't even remember his lyrics. Sydney says, row, row down the boat, gently down the stream. Diddy made Trey scream just to have some green. Damn. Was his legs to the moon?
She a grandmother rapping about her legs to the moon. With the pants on.
Thank you, Sydney. Bonji says, speak for yourself, Mims. We technically virgins. Well, no, I'm practically a virgin. Now, Bonji, if you technically a virgin, you're gonna have to go ahead and coin that phrase. Now, I don't know what the technical virgins are, but I'm guessing one day you're gonna let us know. Booty Butter says, Lil Mama, oh. Booty Butter says, Lil Mama need to worry about her tuck.
And
Dear Divine says, I'd give you the draws. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. A born again virgin, not a nip in the tuck. Okay. JB in Texas says, hey, Mims, my wife and I love your shows. Please wish Tammy safe and happy travels to sing. Oh, okay. Well, y'all got the money. JB in Texas is where the money resides, y'all. I wish you the safest. Hold on, let me take this off. Tammy, I want to wish you the safest trip to Singapore and Bali. I've heard it's very beautiful. I can't go nowhere that I can't spell. So, no, but have a safe one. Thank you guys for being members. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm not going to lie, guys. I stumbled on this lawsuit from Trey Songz. He's not really been on my radar, to be honest with you. I haven't really liked the Trey Songz song since I think it was like Black Roses, and that might have been 2011, back when he still... Whenever I say Trey Songz don't have a career, I'm not meaning that the boy can't, sell out a banquet hall. He still has a fan base. Somebody was getting on me when I made that video yesterday. So he still has a fan base, and I think I know who you are. Just FYI, while you're trying to troll, I think I know who you are. Anyway, he has a fan base. He's, he might be able to go somewhere around Puerto Rico and drop some beats. But it's not like Trey Songz is what Trey Songz was 2010, 2011 when he was on par with Drake. Actually, I think technically at that point, Trey Songz was bigger than Drake. So when I say things like that, that's really what I'm getting at. It's not like I'm saying that he's not still famous. He's still famous enough to be at Diddy parties and allegedly take advantage of people. Just saying. So I stumbled on this lawsuit. Autumn says, I used to love Trey Songz. Sexy Red got me. I'm not gonna lie. She has some bops. It is what it is, but I'm not gonna be mad that somebody else won Best New Artist. She's not visionary. You know what I mean? It's rapping 101 ways to rhyme PUSS and you get the rest. That's it. It's catchy. It's good beats. Sometimes there's a hook. Sometimes there isn't. But, whatever. Actually, people were upset. Anyway, I wanted to... Let's see. I think I found it. So again, Trey Songz has been around certain things, but because he's not necessarily still, really big as he used to be, he can get away with being in this Odell Beckham, Justin Bieber video, and nobody says anything. He was trying to warn them that the camera was rolling. Y'all remember this? We don't really pay attention. And then I saw the lawsuit, and then I started looking, and it says Trey Songz has been accused of assault again. 2021 WNBA player Dylan Gonzalez tweeted, Trey Songz is a R word. Lord forgive me, I can't hold that in another year. See you in 2022. Is a list. 2012. Songz allegedly struck a woman in the face at a strip club, the first of many reported physical assaults. 2017, Keke Palmer accused Songz of sexually intimidating her to appear in a music video, which Trey Songz denied. So we'll listen to this real quick. It's muted? Hold on. I do not know what's going on with my StreamYard. Hold on, we'll take this off.
I mean, just that sexual intimidation. You know, I mean, like, I feel as a female, often I'm put in situations where sometimes males will use their masculinity, their sexuality to taunt you. You know, I hate to have to bring and say that and make it known, but I mean, look, I ain't the first person that's gone through. People have gone through this all the time in college, in high school, but these aren't things that I've experienced. So this was like kind of one of my first major experiences. You know, it would be like you going to a party where the biggest jock is there, and the whole time he's like, you know, you can get screwed, you can get this, you can get that, you know, and you ain't no little girl no more.
You can get screwed, you can get that, you ain't no little girl no more. When is the Surviving Trey Songz series coming out? We've heard a lot about him. Okay, so let's go back. 2017, Keke Palmer accused Songz of sexually intimidating her to appear in a music video, which Songz denied. Andrea Barrera alleged Songz choked her at his LA home in 2018. In a 2018 lawsuit, Jahar Jeffries accused Songz of attempting to digitally penetrate her at a Miami nightclub. That's the one we're going to be getting into because it is still ongoing. The allegations against Songz didn't gain much public traction until a white Instagram model accused him of refusing to let her and her friend leave his house. A Las Vegas sexual assault investigation into Songz was opened in 2021 and dropped a year later. An anonymous woman says Songz R-worded her from the back in Los Angeles in 2016. Megan Johnson alleged Songz sexually assaulted her at a party in Connecticut in 2013. An anonymous bowling alley worker in New York accused Songz of physically attacking her in a bathroom. 2 women have alleged they passed out at a Songz house and woke up to non-consensual sex acts. He really was not even on my radar, guys. What happens is anything that like has something to do with Diddy, I'll get notice of it. And I went down a rabbit hole Sunday morning, literally, on this case. Between how crazy the case was to begin with, the allegations of drugs, the Diddy party, the timeline, what he actually did to her. Then another girl, I mean, I don't know what you would call them these days, hangers on, the groupie type. I don't know what the correct terminology is. You know, if sex workers are now called Instagram models, everything is rebranded. So you never really know when you're saying the wrong thing. Point being, literally, Tasha K posted a video of a football player who was inside of a woman. She was unclothed. He finished and took off running, and then she chased him. And Tasha K labeled it, you know, 2 Instagram models chasing football player. Why did that have to get renamed? The Instagram model was chasing him because they had agreed upon, I think, $1,400 for him to insert in her, and he didn't want to pay. So why do they have to be an Instagram model? Whatever happened, if you're a sex worker, you're a sex worker. What's wrong with that? If you are male or female and you are taking money for sex acts, I thought that was a sex worker. Anyway, he settled. There was a $25 million lawsuit that he settled, I think within the last couple years. What happens is statute of limitations run out. We've seen this with a lot of the Diddy cases, but Trey Songz is not unscathed in this. Who knew that he could settle the $25 million lawsuit? It is what it is. It's the oldest profession. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to show you guys the first actual complaint, because this might have to be maybe a 2 or 3 part series. So once we start getting into the perjury and his mama being involved, I was telling you, my sister was hitting me up like, what are you doing? Where are you at? I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And I'm like, I'm researching. I was all in. Dear Divine says, big ass granny draws, by the way. Thank you, dear Divine. Okay, so let's get into it. Trey Sue and Jag, I never heard that. I never heard that. Which one of y'all going home with Trigger? Nobody. After you hear this, guys, we got like 1,800 in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. Where are we on likes? We don't even have 1,000 likes. Definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We go deep over here. Okay, it says sexual abuse in every form is abhorrent and unconscionable. The headlines are replete with stories of the rich, powerful, and famous who think they can get away with this type of behavior that occurred in this case, from Jeffrey Epstein to Harvey Weinstein to R. Kelly. Appallingly and remarkably, the instant case mirrors in some ways the relationship of Ghislaine Maxwell to Epstein. Just as Maxwell is alleged to have secured victims for Epstein's pleasure, it seems Sean Combs and even Nightclub's actions in part precipitated the events that led to the sexual abuse of the plaintiff by Trey Songz in this matter. Just as Epstein was imprisoned and Maxwell is undergoing prosecution, so too does this complaint take the first step in addressing the outrageous behavior endured by the plaintiff in this matter as a result of the actions and inactions of the defendants. Distressingly, Trey Songz himself is frequently in the headlines for the type of behavior at issue here, having just recently been accused again of sexual assault in a similar setting to the underlying case in Las Vegas just weeks ago. As well as will be detailed below, the behavior in the instant case by the defendant is shocking and horrific. It defies imagination and the norms of how anyone should treat or contribute to the treatment of another, and gives rise to multiple causes of action set forth herein. It should not be lost to anyone that the plaintiff in this matter is coming forward at an enormous personal risk to herself and her reputation, thereby risking further insult to the manifest injuries she has already sustained. So I want to pull this lady up so you can see. She's actually a real estate agent in Miami. Let's see. Of course, she's pretty. I want her picture bigger, though. That's okay. We'll do it on Insta. Okay, found it. So this is the lady. Of course, she's pretty, tall. Jahar Jeffries is an individual over the age of 18, is legally and mentally competent. Sean Combs, aka is an individual over the age of 18, is legally and mentally competent, blah, 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 blah. Defendant Combs invited the plaintiff and defendant Songz to his home and served them or directed others to serve or provide them alcohol and food while present in his home. Now, we're going to get into what she had to say specifically about Diddy's party, but I'm thinking that she would have said a lot more if she would have filed her case in 2023 and not when she did. Because I feel like she went real light on the Diddy stuff. Keep in mind, she'll be at Diddy's house till like 4 a.m. in the morning. She says, general allegations. The incident giving rise to this litigation began and concluded in Miami. Based on the amount of controversy, Defendant Combs' residence, Defendant 11's principal place of business, and the location of the incident, this court has jurisdiction in Miami-Dade County. On January 1st, 2018, Plaintiff Jahara attended a New Year's Eve party at Defendant Sean Combs' home on Star Island. Plaintiff arrived at approximately 1:45 a.m. and stayed for 1.5 to 2 hours. So you came to a Diddy party after New Year's. I wonder what else she has seen. At approximately 4 a.m., the plaintiff left Defendant Combs' home, went to the driveway, and called an Uber to take her and some friends to E111 Nightclub, 11miami.com. So you're going to the club at 4. So this must be like an all-night kind of like rave thing. Tremaine Alden Neverson. Trey Songz' name is Tremaine Alden Neverson. Left Combs' home at the same time, overheard a conversation between plaintiff and her friends, and invited the plaintiff and her friend to ride with him to Defendant 11. Although the plaintiff observed that Trey Songz was likely intoxicated, she accepted his offer of a ride because a member of Trey Songz' security team was driving the vehicle transporting them. Problem number one, you already know what the allegations are about Trey Songz. Now you see him intoxicated. You better get your own Uber. When they arrived at Defendant 11, Defendant Trey Songz invited the plaintiff to join him at a private table where Defendant 11 provided food and bottle service. That's it. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. She did not say she was into him. What she said basically was, I'm going to go to the same club with him because now I don't have to wait in any line. And now I'm going with a celebrity and I'm going to get free liquor. That's really what it boils down to, y'all. And if you're in the club scene now, are you into hookahs or bars or whatever? It's really about sections. People don't even dance anymore. It literally is everybody in their section on Instagram. You left the Diddy party to go to a nightclub and you left with Trey Songz because you knew that there would be some perks, basically. The plaintiff noticed that Defendant Songz continued to drink, although he already appeared intoxicated. Y'all, she ain't say nothing about no other kind of drugs that was going on at the Diddy party, but I'm assuming y'all can fill in the blank. Y'all can fill in the blank. When they arrived at Defendant 11, Defendant Songz invited... Oh, sorry. Plaintiff drank water only while at Defendant 11. Smart. While at Defendant 11, plaintiff danced with friends and at one point got up on a couch to dance. Dancing on couches at Defendant 11 and at Miami nightclubs is common. It's true. I've danced on a table or a couch or two. While plaintiff was dancing on the couch, she noticed Defendant Songz standing on the floor next to her. She then felt fingers being inserted into her baby door. Shout out, Jolene. Turned around and saw Defendant Songz pulling his hand away from her bottom. At the time, the plaintiff was wearing a dress with a high slit up the back. Plaintiff immediately got off the couch, sat down, and was in a state of shock. Another woman who was also in attendance went to the plaintiff, asked her what was going on, and then told plaintiff that Defendant Songz had reached into her dress and inserted his fingers into her baby door as well. So is that the cost of being in your section? What if your fingers were dirty? I know he didn't wash his hands. And who knows where those fingers were before? Observing the women speaking and believing that the women were intoxicated, defendant Songz ordered the women to eat some chicken wings so they could sober up. Shortly thereafter, defendant Songz then ordered everyone to exit his VIP section at Defendant 11's nightclub and to exit the venue entirely. While still in shock, plaintiff left Defendant 11 with defendant Songz and her friends and got into defendant Songz' security-driven vehicle. Now, why are you then going anywhere else with him? We're straight shooters around here. We ask questions. Why would you be going anywhere else with him? Plaintiff got into the backseat of the vehicle along with defendant Songz and other female individuals and was forced into the middle seat, making it impossible for plaintiff to move or otherwise freely exit the vehicle. At some point during the ride, defendant Songz removed his shirt. Fearing more assault, plaintiff began recording defendant Songz for her own safety. Defendant Songz noticed plaintiff recording him and attempted to forcibly remove the phone from the plaintiff, but the plaintiff thwarted his efforts. Plaintiff's refusal to turn her phone over to defendant Songz enraged defendant Songz, who instructed his driver to stop the vehicle in order to forcibly remove plaintiff from the vehicle. Now, I kind of want to see what you guys are saying. She knew what it was. Exactly, these women be setting it up. I just answered that question. All these cases is money. What's wrong with folks? Why are you leaving with him? That's crazy. Get in your car or take your own Uber. They get on my nerves. First a victim, then a volunteer. She should have left after the club. She was down, but he was too rough. I'm not a kind of person who just sits here and doesn't look at both sides. Do I believe that Trey Songz could have done this to her? Absolutely. But if you felt you don't have a connection to him, it's not like this is your boyfriend or this is some dude you're dealing with. You just met him at a Diddy party. So you left out of you jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire? You left the Diddy party and then you got into the club with Trey Songz, stayed in his section. He then allegedly assaulted you. And then he says, everybody leave. And you don't pull out your phone to Uber yourself home or Uber yourself wherever else you want to go. We got questions. Okay, lack of sound judgment leaving the club does not negate her assault. Yeah, Banji, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm looking at both sides of this. And you did not have a connection to this man. There was no need for you to follow his entourage. There was nothing that said he forced you. He just said, eat some wings, sober up, and I'm leaving. Everybody got to leave the section. I'm going home. That's when you say deuces. See you at the next Diddy party. Okay, let's see. While one of the defendant John Doe's was pulling and plaintiff was being pushed by defendant Songz out of the vehicle. So they literally kicked her out the car, like forcibly put her out the car. Defendant Songz threatened and ridiculed the plaintiff and threw water in her face. Plaintiff suffered scrapes on her legs after hitting the ground following being forcibly removed from the vehicle. Okay, so let's see. Defendant Songz and defendant John Doe's made intentional and unlawful threats of corporal injury by force to plaintiff and directed unlawful force upon plaintiff, thereby creating plaintiff's well-founded fear of imminent peril while plaintiff was in Trey Songz' vehicle driven by John Doe's. Let's see. I want to get to the Diddy part because that was... Let's see. That was the part. She claimed false imprisonment, y'all. No, I don't know how you could claim false imprisonment when they're telling you get out the car. I don't know how you would even argue that. Okay, here we go. Plaintiff arrived at the home of defendant Combs on January 1st, 2018 at 1:45. When she arrived at defendant home, defendant Combs was furnishing liquor and alcoholic beverages at the subject premises and was considered a social host under Florida statute. At all times material to defendant Combs had a duty to exercise reasonable care in serving alcoholic beverages. She's not saying anything else about what might have been in those beverages. At all times material to, defendant Combs had a duty to exercise reasonable care in serving alcoholic beverages, including a statutory duty to not knowingly sell and or serve alcoholic beverages to any habitual substance abuser. At all times, defendant Combs and the servers knew and were aware through public information that defendant Songz was a habitual substance abuser. Songz was served multiple alcoholic beverages at the home of defendant Combs. Combs breached his duty of reasonable care in the defendant Combs employees and or agencies knowingly and unlawfully served alcoholic beverages to defendant Songz to the point of intoxication. After defendant Songz left the home with defendant Combs, he assaulted, battered, and falsely imprisoned plaintiff while under the influence of alcohol, which was consumed at the home of defendant Combs and which impaired defendant Songz' faculties. Under the circumstances, it was reasonably foreseeable to defendant Combs, individually and by through his employees or agents, that injury to the plaintiff could occur. After serving defendant Songz liquor and alcohol, particularly since it was served to a habitual substance abuser. So did y'all know that Trey Songz was a habitual substance abuser? Who's victim blaming? Samia, I don't know. I didn't read all of the chat. I don't think it's victim blaming, but if we were like reviewing these cases, to me, it does not make sense to leave with Trey Songz, somebody you just met and somebody you claim just assaulted you. That's just, we have to like comb through these things and really have dialogue. And another thing is, we've talked about this a lot on this channel. These are like cautionary tales. So in this instance, you have to err on the side of caution. And after you already knew what this man was about, it's not making sense. But no, I definitely don't think people are. But I don't know the comment section. I hope people aren't victim blaming. Karma says, we're assuming everyone has common and good sense. Bingo. Bingo. But yes, Cordell, we have to look at these things and notice the red flags. I'm not naive to the fact that a lot of times when you're around a celebrity, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, this is dope. And, you know, money's flying everywhere. You saw what Sexy Red was doing. We're in sections. Everybody is ushering us up. There is a lure that comes with celebrity, but you have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And at the time that somebody is digitally penetrating you, get away from them right then. It's no, let me move, because being in that section is not worth that. This is not your, okay. Banji says, Mims, we're assuming she was lucid and sober herself. I doubt they were, but when drunk, she can't consent. So no, I'm telling you guys, I could believe that Trey did that to her. I definitely could believe Trey did that to her. But what I'm telling the straight shooters is, you got to be smarter than this. If this man just did this to you, get the hell away from him. Call the police. you don't follow with the rest of the entourage to the next location. Anyway, let's get back to it. Habitual substance who, upon information and belief, may already have been intoxicated when he entered the premises of defendant Combs. Defendant Songz thereby lacked the ability to make reasonable decisions in the consumption of liquor or alcohol and the potential consequences that would follow from such consumption. So she named Diddy in this. Guys, we're going to get into some of the other parts, but it just kept getting crazier and crazier. Trey Songz sexual assault suit. Woman says attorney offered to bribe to lie about the singer. Trey Songz has an ally in his corner when it comes to claims of sexual assault against him. A woman testified an attorney for Songz' alleged victim offered her up to $200,000 to change her story and make Trey the bad guy, a claim the attorney denies. If you haven't followed along, Trey's in the middle of a sexual assault lawsuit filed by a woman named Jahar Jeffries, who says he violated her at a 2017 New Year's Eve party in Miami. We've obtained a transcript from a recent court hearing in the case where a woman named Mariah Thielen testified that she met with Jeffries' attorney, Ariel Mitchell, in April of 2021 at a bar in Miami. Thielen says Mitchell smelled like weed during the meeting and was carrying a gun. Y'all, the story gets crazier and crazier. And that woman has that attorney has other allegations as well. This is the lady, Maria Thielen. Let's see. Wait, we're here. According to the transcript, Thielen, who was with Jeffries the night of Trey's alleged assault, says Mitchell offered to pay between $100,000 to $200,000 if she'd lie and say she witnessed Trey sexually assault Jeffries, and claim that Trey assaulted her too. Mitchell allegedly said she was trying to paint Trey as the next R. Kelly. Thielen says Mitchell's plan was to take her allegations to Trey's teams in hopes of coming to a monetary settlement, and her lies would help to make that amount larger. Again, this is according to the transcript. Thielen claims she turned the offer down, saying she wouldn't have lied for even $10 million, and reported the meeting to Trey's legal team a short time later. Mitchell denies the claims, telling us, "We're highly confident and certain that the court will find the witness committed perjury. Parties are still awaiting the judge's further instructions on how to proceed given the witness' inconsistent testimony during the hearing." Mitchell's partner, Greg Vrebrick, withdrew from the case, stating that there was multiple grounds for withdrawal that existed under the Florida Rules of Professional Conduct. But Mitchell says that's only because he will be representing me against the parties involved in the disgraceful motion brought by Trey Songz and his representatives. Interestingly enough, both Ariel and George withdrew from a case where they represented a woman who accused Chris Brown of the R word and sued for $20 million. Both dropped out shortly after Chris posted a series of texts and voicemails from the woman, making it seem as if they were friendly. Ariel told us she withdrew because she was not aware of the messages. Now, I have all those transcripts and stuff. That'll have to be on a part 2. If it's kind of the same as if you didn't break the law, you'd still be alive. Isn't 3 or more? The man is a celebrity. Celebrities are regular people, and you don't let your guard down to a stranger. You don't let your guard down even to family members. I'm telling you guys, like, this one, it goes so deep. Reading those transcripts and seeing this lady, I'll have to show you on the part 2, but it was Trey Songz' mom got involved, and some of it gave that she didn't really technically have contact with Trey, but she was trying to get in contact with Trey. It gave kind of like pick me. I don't agree with turning somebody into an R. Kelly if they didn't actually do it, but there was too many twists and turns. I'll also try to see if I can get my hands on that $25 million one that he settled. Let's see. Hey, Mims, at this stage, who isn't in a SAK case alongside Diddy Diddler. Is this the girl that had Trey Songz legs to the moon? No, the girl who had Trey Songz legs to the moon was a Caucasian OnlyFans model. Let me see if I can pull her up real quick. Let's see. Okay. This was the girl who had Trey Songz legs to the moon.
Hit me up. Where you at, baby? I said, you know you want me to lick that ass again.
Again.
Okay, so he invited me to his mansion. I was out there for Pinky shoot. You guys, it's nothing that serious. Like they just invite you out there because they see you do your porn and they're like, oh, I want her to do what I see. So he takes me upstairs and we go to his bedroom and he asked me, do I want a sip of the drink he had. I don't know what it was, but it was a big bottle. It was a nice bottle. And I was like, no, I was so nervous at the time. You know, I was like, no, I don't want to drink. And I just wanted to go right into fucking him like
at least she's honest.
Get him impressed and sick. And then we lay on the bed and then I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh my God, it's really Trey Songz I'm sitting beside. I said, okay, let me get a drink. He says, no, I already asked you if you wanted to drink. You don't get a drink now. And I was like, oh my God, he's so fucking rude.
She still wanted to do it though.
We didn't agree on no price.
But that meant that there was going to be a price. We didn't agree on a price, but that meant that there was going to be a price.
Just trying to do my best performance to get the most money. So I stayed up all night on my grandmama. I stayed up all night fucking him, sucking him. I lifted his legs up and licked his ass.
She a grandmother rapping about her legs to the moon.
If I eat you out, I don't mind if you eat me out.
Oh, that's a lot.
If I eat you out, I don't mind if you eat me out.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes, she is a lady of the night. Wasn't that a Whitney Houston song? Caden says, I believe he did it the same way I think she wanted it. Now she on the Sue train. Shake my head. I don't think that she wanted to be digitally penetrated in the club. You can want to be in somebody's entourage, you can want to be the perks, but the fact that she got down off the couch while he was allegedly doing that to her tells me that she didn't want that. That was unwanted. If she wanted it, she might have gapped her legs open. Cody P, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. And Spiritual Gangster says, it's not victim blaming when you said you didn't drink and was not being forced. You can make decisions to protect yourself. This just is stupid because someone insert their finger you follow. Houseway. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. I do think that the touching was unwanted. I definitely think that, in my opinion, she was probably assaulted. But the rest of the story, to me, I don't like it. He wasn't your boyfriend. He wasn't anybody you had any real connection to. You met him that night, and if he assaulted you, you should have left and gone to the police. Nobody held you in that section. You could have left, and you definitely should never have gotten in a car with him. Just saying. I support victims, but I call a thing a thing. So yeah, this was the woman who was claiming that, you know, Trey
Songz. I licked his asshole. It was great. He loved it. He turned around. He hiked the ass up. He let me lick that asshole. It was pretty great.
He wanted
you. Exactly. I'm not saying it's legit, but poor decisions don't negate what happens after those decisions. When personal responsibility come into play. Yeah, I mean, we're straight shooters. We definitely support victims around here, but we have to have real conversations about real shit. And real talk, you should have never got your ass in the car. You should have got away from him. And even then, in the car, you're fighting to stay in the car. if somebody who just assaulted you that you might be kind of fearful of is telling you get out, because you never know. He hits women. She didn't negotiate a price up front. Yeah, she don't know. She don't love herself. A wise woman once said, you got to use what you got to get what you want. I know 1,000 Players Club quotes. Anyway, guys, we'll be back. There's so many more stories, but I'm still doing this thing with Mama Mims. Hopefully I'll have some good news soon, real soon. It's been taking up all of my days, but we got some Club Shay Shay truths that came out. We got some case ain't closed. The case is still open, Culture. The case is still ongoing. That's why I was like, we got to talk about this. One day this week will definitely go through the transcripts where the woman perjured herself. It's so crazy. This case is crazy, and I'm gonna try to get that one that he had to settle, because that one that he had to settle must be. He didn't do anything wrong. He's just being upfront about his personal business and all kinds of stuff. So we got to talk about that. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Like the video on your way out. When am I having a panel? What you want me to have a panel on? I know Wednesday for sure we're doing members only live, but what do you want a panel on, and who you want to be on the panel? Or you mean bring the straight shooters up, or are you talking about get other YouTubers on my channel? Bonji, just hit me up you can hit me up on Insta. I know we DM, so y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow.